my channel. Today I am reacting to Jacksepticeye's diagnosis. I know I'm late on this, and I'm not gonna put the whole video. If you guys want to watch it, I'll put it in the link below. But I'm super excited. I've been a huge fan of Jacksepticeye when I first went into college, and he helped me cheer it up and it made me feel less alone when I was struggling a lot with homework, and I got frustrated how everyone was learning fast, and I heard his story of how he tried college and he struggled with it. It made me feel less alone, and his videos were a huge comfort to me in high school. They still are. I watch his videos when I'm down. But anyway, I'm going to break down this video and give you my perspective of autism. Keep in mind that it is a spectrum, so not every autistics are gonna have like the same reaction as mine.
After having it be diagnosed officially by a doctor, a lot of people came to me and were like, oh, but you're so like social and you're so like your communication is great, and like I couldn't tell. And I think that that's an important distinction to make, because even for me growing up in like the 90s or the early 2000s, autism had to be that thing that was what is now known as nonverbal autism. It had to be the people.
And he's very right about this. I had a similar reaction to when I think it was like a few years after high school, I did a speech at our high school disability group about autism, and a lot of my friends came up to me, which, by the way, I've never told anyone I had autism until after I graduated. So a lot of my friends came up to me and was like, we never knew you were autistic. And I can explain to Jack and to all of you that is because we're high masking. We put on performance to act like neurotypicals and to try to fit in. So maybe Jack was like really good at masking. That's that's just what I'm getting from here. And I like that he also mentioned that people always assume autism with the nonverbal, and like he said, it is true. There are some autistics that are nonverbal, they can't talk, but that's the thing, is like, it's like, I've had several people come up to me when I said I'm autistic. They're like, oh, you're like Sheldon Cooper. I'm like, no, I'm nothing like Sheldon Cooper. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like assuming the whole autism group is nonverbal when it's not. And he's also right that back in the 90s and the 2000s, there's not as much research or known about autism as there is now. And I'm so happy that finally now we're getting more like autistic representation in children's shows and adult shows. And I'm hoping we can stop having god-awful shows like The Good Doctor that's really bad with representation. Because we're learning more about autism. The more a lot of autistics come out to speak about it, the more people know about autism and how it works.
I started reading stuff that people with ADHD can have autism as well, that they overlap with each other quite a lot. And then I was like, reading down the list, I was like, if you have autism, you likely have ADHD, you likely have depression and anxiety, you likely have intestinal issues, you likely have hypermobility and joint issues, and you likely have asthma. And I was like, I have all of these things. I just have like a soup of like mess going on inside of me. And then as I started to understand, I was like, oh, all of these things are kind of like under the umbrella of neurodivergency.
Yeah, so when I was scrolling on TikTok, I found out from other autistic creators that people with autism can miss body cues. So body cues as like when you get hungry, when you get thirsty, and when you have to go to the bathroom. And we won't know until it's very urgent, because our bodies can miss that cues. So like, I could be dehydrating myself, not knowing. I could be starving myself, not knowing. I could really have to go, not knowing. Like, if I don't think about it and I forget about it, I don't know. But the other things, like, I don't know I have are, like, asthma and stuff, but the joint, yes. Like, behind the scene, that's why you'll see me wearing, like, these type of clothing, like hoodies or soft leggings, because, I have very high sensory, and anything that's, like, too tight will hurt. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. And also back to, because I feel like I glossed over, like, the ADHD. He is correct about that. A lot of people, I've known from my autistic friends, is that we joke that ADHD is the cousin to autism, because they are so similar. So I probably could have ADHD, I just haven't been diagnosed. The only other one I've been diagnosed with is borderline personality disorder, and I'm still trying to deal with that, so maybe down the road I'll get tested to see.
People, I'm going through like a million different things in my brain. I'm overanalyzing the way I am. I'm overanalyzing everything that I say. I'm pushing everything through a filter in my brain. I'm reading everyone's body language all the time to like see where things fit in. So I always say that I'm a really good judge of character because I'm like hyper analyzing people all the time. And not in any sort of judgmental way where I like throw it back at them. But for me, it's like a thing that I can use to kind of like help me get through conversations and social structures a bit easier. And I'm able to weave in and out through that. And I use comedy as my tool to do that. I can like...
So what Jack just said right here explains my autism experience down to the T. Anytime I go out, I am overanalyzing everything. That is why after work or after I go shopping, I have to be here in my bed because it drains me. And the reason why I do that, because I'm trying to make sure, like, I'm not too rude, I don't appear rude, my facial expressions don't appear rude, and I'm trying to make sure I understand what people are saying, not taking them so literally, and making sure I'm not making a fool out of myself. Because, like, sometimes people will, like, joke to me through my line, and I won't get the joke. And it takes me a minute to process, like, they are joking. And like you said, it's not like we're judging. We're trying to figure out what you're trying to say to us, because from my experience with autism, I have a hard time reading what people really mean with their facial expressions, with their tone. And so I'm really looking to analyze, like, okay, what are you really trying to say? What are you really trying to express? And most of the times, like, when I'm staring at people, it's because I think they look really good in an outfit, and I'm just, like, very too shy to say it out loud. But this is my experience, not Jack's experience. But yeah, pretty much everything he said here is the straight up my experience with autism. Like, feeling like I am a literal robot scanning everybody's faces so that way I can remember them, because I'm horrible with names, but I'm really good at analyzing faces, attention to detail, and
break down that wall and that barrier and not build myself up into something that I'm not. And I think that that's important. That's why I'm having this conversation with you right now. That's why I ramble. That's why we're here. That's why we do it. That's the end of it all. Thanks for watching.
And I'm gonna be honest with Jacksepticeye, that's the main reason why I love his channel and why it helped me through hard days, because anytime he would play like a horror game with a serious topic, he would start talking about mental health. And when I watched his videos, I was struggling And I still do to this day. Like, when I'm struggling through a dark mental health, I watch his videos because he gives those advice. Where, like, if you're struggling, you're not alone. And that's something someone really needs to hear when they're struggling. So his videos really helped me in my darkest times. And I was so happy when he made this video, because, like, welcome to the autistic community. You're one of us. But I'm gonna be honest, I was shocked at first. But I wasn't really surprised because it just clicked. I was like, oh, that's why he's the only YouTuber I feel like I can relate with. It all makes sense now. But, the one thing I didn't show was, like, he did say, he's still the same person, and that is true. You're still the same person regardless of your disability, or, like, regardless, like, anything you're struggling with. You're still the same person. It's just now, because you know you have that, it is going to be a lot easier to navigate, because once I finally start accepting my autism for what it was a lot easier to navigate. And once I treat it properly and start going to therapy, that's when I realize I've gotten a lot calmer when I work in retail now versus the past when I would just try to shove it aside and try to mask. Because masking is not great. Putting on a face is not great every single day, and it does get exhausting. So if you could find just those little things to help you, like stimming with bracelets or anything. I am going to leave a link below where you can find places to get a autism diagnosis, because again, I can't diagnose you, and the internet can't diagnose you. I am just someone who got diagnosed at 13, sharing their experience of their autism. But I'm just happy, like, he's seeing it in such a positive way, because I remember when I first heard my diagnosis, and again, I was a very young kid. I remember when I heard my diagnosis, I was, like, so, like, disappointed, because I was like, oh, that's why I struggle with socialization. That's why I feel so different. That's why I feel so awkward. And I saw it, like, as a curse a lot. But it took me a long time to get to that area, because he's in an adult era. This is me as a kid learning about this. And as a kid, you're not going to take it as well as you would as an adult. And especially if society has treated it like it's a curse. Doesn't help in that perspective either. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Sorry if I rambled sometimes in this. But please go check out Jacksepticeye's video and his content. He helps me laugh on my roughest days, so thank you all, and thank you so much to 237 subscribers. I can't believe it. Bye.